Our next presenter is in a class all his own. It is Jospeh McClendon III. Many of you may know him from his work as a head trainer and presenter with Tony Robbins. You might also know that you might not know that he owns 6 different businesses with sales exceeding $42 million, which, by the way, I knew you had several, but I did not know how much it was. And he's worked with the best of the best around the world for decades. He's one of the most effective and sought after presentation teachers, you heard him say it before, in the planet. He's hailed as the ultimate performance specialist, and he has his doctorate in neuropsychology. He's presented over 4.5 million people in 30 countries. He's here with some of the most powerful tools to help you grow faster in your business. And I'm supposed to say, but I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to do it, Jospeh. Get on your feet and a warm welcome for Jospeh McClendon III.
You know, I don't know where you got that intro from. That was for, obviously, you know, we give that to people when I'm coming on stage, but here I am. So get up off your feet.
There you go. And
Lisa,
shake that ass.
Lisa, thank you for having me on this call. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, I have been looking forward to having you here as well. And you, like some other people here, have been in my life for almost 3 decades. It's been 27 years since I met you the first time. Wow. And although neither one of us age, which is really totally amazing, I think you're doing even better than me. One of the things I know is you have inspired me and millions of people with what you do and how you do it. And in today's times, I want to thank you for being here as an entrepreneur, businessman yourself, and helping people with performance. There's just so much going on with people's concerns about what's next, what do they need to do with their business. And, you know, I think that you've been masterful at giving us different recipes for being able to turn the noise off. And I'd love to hear some of your strategies of what you do to do the checkup for the neck up.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, for everybody, first off, thanks for having me, and thank you for everybody being on the call and or on this thread, if you will. And here's how I roll, because I am that guy. And what I mean by that is I'm that guy, as you can probably tell, and as Lisa said, I got a lot of energy, and I move fairly fast. And I pride myself on this, that I don't want to be here just to inspire you and motivate you and empower you and all those things, because that stuff's temporary. And this isn't to cast any aspersions on anybody that does just that. I want to add something different to your life. That's why I'm on this call. And so in order to do that, I need you to participate as well. And how I'm going to ask you to participate is, number one, if you don't have it already, get something that you can take some notes down, because I'm going to do what Lisa said or asked, and I'm going to give you something to do. Because the do is what produces the result, not the knowledge, not the wisdom, not all of that stuff. So all of the stuff now, Lisa, unfortunately, I wasn't on long enough to really get the format of the way that things go, or really listen to much of the other speakers. So please jump in, slap me around, and hold me accountable to your schedule of the way that things go. But I will say this: whatever you've learned today, whatever you've learned ever, and the advice that has been given to you so far, it will work. You're hearing from people who have walked their talk and that walk their talk. But it'll only work if you do what they say. Because what happens with most people is we get advice, we get coaching, we get mentoring, we get all that stuff. But a mentor's effectiveness is only as good as the person that they're mentoring's activity that they take. So you can walk away from this call, including what I say, and you can go, gosh, that was great, and I learned some great stuff. But if you don't do something, and if that person doesn't give you something to do, it ain't going to happen. The spoils in life don't go to those who just want. The spoils in life go to those who do, period, end of story. So again, I'm that guy. I'm not going to be soft on you. I'm not going to be slow. So here's my first question. And by the way, here's how I want you to respond. On your keyboard, in the chat room, all I want you to do is type the number 1 when I ask you to. I'll ask you, I'll tell you what the number is. 1 is for yes, 2 is for no. So type the number 1. And by the way, my methodology is, let's just say, unorthodox. By profession, I'm a neuropsychologist. I had a practice in Los Angeles for many, many years where I help people get over fears and phobias and emotional challenges that hinder their lives. But I don't do it in a normal way. If you come into my office and you got a fear of dogs, take a guess what's going to be in my office.
A bunch of dogs.
Yeah, and you're going to hold the dog by the time that session's over. And so I do it unorthodoxly. And so when I ask you to do something, I'm not just having you, class participation. I'm actually engaging your brain, your neuropsychology. So here's the question. Do you want what you want sooner rather than later? 1 is yes, 2 is no. Type it in. Let's see how well you guys follow instructions. Do you want what you want sooner rather than later?
We're getting lots of ones in there.
Yeah, because I can't see them, by the way. So you're gonna have to let me know. Okay, so great. And so that is something, and I want you to write this down, that I call further faster. Okay, further faster. And what that means is, yes, if you want to be patient, and you do have to be patient on some things, but if you want to take your time and space it out over the years and things like that, that's great. But that's not the game we're playing as entrepreneurs. Okay. The game that we're playing as entrepreneurs is to get what you want sooner rather than later so that you can do the things. And in my case, it is to give back. It is to be charitable. It is to contribute and things like that. But I wanted to get there sooner rather than later. So that's number 1, further faster. The second thing is in the effort to make sure that I get enough in here, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. So I'm not going to ask you what you want. I'm going to tell you what you want. And if this is not what you want, step off. Go have a cup of coffee. Go do something else. Yeah, I'm that guy, by the way. Okay. And so here's what you want. You want to be wealthy. Okay. That's what you want. So write that word down. Everybody write it down. Wealthy. Okay. Now, for all of you hippies that got your sphincter in a pucker when I said that, and are going, no, Joseph, it's not about the money. It's about what I can give and saving the whales and the unicorns and all those things. Relax, okay? Because I'm going to give you a definition of wealthy, and then you're going to type a 1 if you agree with me. So this is what wealthy is in my book, because I want us to be on the same page. Wealthy is to be healthy, happy, and financially abundant. Okay, type a 1 if you want to be wealthy. All right, type a 1. Let me know what they're doing, Lise.
I'm checking it out. We got lots of ones coming in.
Okay, now underneath that, healthy, happy, and financially abundant are all of the facets: contribution and fitness and energy and all of that stuff that comes along with those things. But that's the umbrella that I'm talking about here. Okay, contribution and fitness. I don't know what just happened. Along with those things.
Sarah's thing is on, so we got to mute Sarah, please.
Okay, great. Okay, so now number 2, I'm going to talk to you about entrepreneurs, because obviously that's kind of the theme of what we're going on here. And this is just like wealthy. This is my interpretation of things, and if this works for you, that's great. And if you can use it to change the quality of your life and your business and your lifestyle, that's even better. But it's not the end all and be all, and you may have some other definitions for it, okay? So entrepreneurs, I'm going to tell you what my definition of an entrepreneur is, and I'm an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, and then I'm going to tell you why you don't want to be an entrepreneur, okay? Why you want to be something else, all right? First off, an entrepreneur is somebody who chooses to and actively pursues creating income through means other than the traditional employer-employee methodology. In other words, instead of being an employee for an employer, you're choosing to create income in another way. And there's a lot of different ways, You can do, as I was listening to the last call, do Reiki. You can sell on eBay. You can do anything. That's still being an entrepreneur. You're choosing and actively pursuing. By the way, and that's really important that you understand, actively pursuing. Otherwise, you're spinning donuts in the middle of the street if you just choose to and say, I'm going to, because type of 1 if you've ever procrastinated.
Here we go.
Yep. And the people that aren't typing 1s, you're saying, I'll do it later. You're procrastinating.
Of course.
okay? Type of 1, if you've ever hesitated when it's time to do something. Another form of procrastination, right? And again, I'm getting you to engage. I want you to actually start to build and to make new neural associations in your brain, right? By the way, Lisa, I don't know, how long do I have to yak?
We're on for another 11 minutes.
Okay, great. So let me get through this really, really quick. Okay, so great. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. That's what an entrepreneur is. But why an entrepreneur does that, and they do it through creating business. Business is simply this. And this is what somebody taught me, and it changed everything. Business, this is the reason why you're creating business. This is the reason why you do business. To create the most amount of capital in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort and the least amount of your initial output, and to make that money repeat every month without the same amount of effort. In other words, you're doing it in the untraditional ways. You're not an employer. You're not an employee. You're doing it, but you want to make a lot of money as quickly as possible. And now we're just talking about money. Obviously, this helps all of those other things that I said in being wealthy. Okay. Type of 1, if you agree with me on that stuff. Least amount of money, least amount of time, least amount of effort, least amount of your capital, and to make it repeat. Okay.
I'm coming in. Yeah, you got it.
So here's what's happening. That's an entrepreneur. But an entrepreneur is not what you want to be, especially if you're on this call. Because an entrepreneur, there's lots of them. More now than ever in the history, well, I shouldn't say in the history of man, because everybody was an entrepreneur before the industrial age, okay? Farmers and all those things. But right now, if you look at it right now, entrepreneurs are everywhere, especially since COVID has happened. You'd be amazed at how many online businesses have started, and amazed at how many, people selling on eBay and on all those things. Those are side hustles, and those are still entrepreneurs, okay? What you want to be is something that I call a megapreneur, okay? And a megapreneur is somebody that is in an upper 3 to 5% of people who thrive, who go nuts with it, okay? Not the people at the bottom. And there's 3 things that you have to have in order to make that happen, in order to be that. And let me give you an example. Let me give you a little bit of my backstory. Okay, some of you already know that I was homeless once in my life. And I was homeless because, and this is pointing at these times right now, because 3 grown men tried to take my life because of the color of my skin. And it destroyed me. I was raised in a great family. My dad gave me a lot of great characteristics and traits and discipline and things like that, but it all went away when that happened to me. And what changed my life was somebody gave me the book, Think and Grow Rich. And I read the book, and pay attention to what I'm about to say. I did the exercises in the book. I didn't just read the book. I did what the book said, and my life started to change. And when I went back to the gentleman to thank him for what he did for me, I asked him, how do I thank you? What do I do for you? What he said is, Joseph, you do the same for me, or you do the same for other people that I've done for you, as many people as you can for the rest of your life. And so that's my why for doing things. That's why I'm doing what I do now. Now, when things started to change, when I read that book and I started to do things, and I got the 3 things that I'm going to tell you here now, my life changed. The first thing that I did is obviously I wanted to make money. Now, this was back in the 80s, before some of you were even born, okay? And I took a weekend course on how to flip houses, buy houses for no money down. The instructor said, I've given you 50 ways to buy houses for no money down. And he said, in his plan was you buy 2 houses a year for 10 years. At the end of 10 years, you'd have residual income from these 10 houses, okay? From 2 houses a year, you'd have 20 houses, right? And I thought, okay, great. And so I asked him, I said, I don't want to wait that long. I got stuff I want to do. And I said, can I buy 10 houses a year for 2 years? And he chuckled and he said, yeah. His name was Robert Allen, by the way. Oh. And so I did. Within a year and a half's time, I bought 26 houses. And I still benefit from that today, by the way. So I got financial success very, very quickly because of that. The next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to be a musician. And as you can see, I'm in one of my studios here. I got music around me. I'm still a musician. But I wanted to get a recording contract. I applied the 3 things that I'm going to tell you of being a megapreneur. I didn't have that term for it then. And I got a recording contract in less than 3 years. And I don't have to tell you, the amount of people that succeed in that genre is very, very, very small. The amount of people who actually succeed in the real estate is very, very small. I did that. In 90, things happened. That went away, but I got what I wanted. And then I decided, okay, I wanted to make some more money. So I joined a network marketing company. The name of the company, the product is irrelevant right now, but I did it. And I got to the top of that company's pay scale or pay system in 22 months and created a 6-figure income. And I still benefit from that today. And I've retired from that almost 13 years ago. Okay. And I worked it very, very part-time. Next thing I wanted to do was give back. I had the financial foundation and I wanted to do what my mentor told me to do. And I decided I wanted to be an author. My first book became a New York Times bestseller, my first book. And I don't have to tell you how many people that decide to write books become bestsellers. Next thing I wanted to do, which was what most of you know me from, is so I wanted to be on stage and speak to people. And obviously rose to the top of that. Before COVID, I was in front of easily 15 to 20,000 people every month, and it's been that way. And by the way, that's how Lisa and I know each other as well, is from that. Why do I share all of that with you? Not to brag or to boast, but to let you know this. I'm a megapreneur. I walk my talk. I don't teach theory. And what I mean by that is a megapreneur has the skills of being able to take what they do into anything that they do. I did it in real estate, I did it in music, I did it in network marketing, being an author, and all of those things, not because I'm so special, because I have a skill. And I want to give you what these elements are, and then, hopefully because we're going to run out of time just because, I can't stop talking. But I'm going to tell you what these elements are for a megapreneur to have. Number one is this. And by the way, I call this, write this down, the 60-20-20 rule. The 60-20-20 rule. And if you have these things, then you can bump up from being an entrepreneur, which is what most of us are on this call, to being a megapreneur. And by the way, type of 1, if you agree with me, and a megapreneur is what you want to be, not just an entrepreneur. Okay? Okay, great. Now, the first thing is this. Now, you've all heard of the 80-20 rule. And what that 80-20 rule is, everything that you want to do revolves around 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. If you think you can, then you probably can. We all know people, and we've all been that person that you didn't have a lot of knowledge, but you had determination or drive or whatever, tenacity, and you made something happen. We've all looked at people and we go, I'm smarter than that person. I have more resources than that person. Why are they so successful and I'm not? Well, here's the reason why. Because they have a different psychology than you, okay? So instead of 80% psychology, I'm saying it's 60% psychology. It's still the bigger piece of it. How you think about these 3 things, and write these down, please, because this is your psychology. Psychology is just a big word for the constant thought pattern that you have unconsciously and unconsciously, okay? About these 3 things, about yourself, about other people, and about the world around you, situations and circumstances. Those are your core beliefs, and that is what makes up your psychology. What you think about yourself, called your identity. What you think about other people, what you think about the world around you. The strongest one is your identity, okay? And when you get on the same page and get those things lined up, so the conversation that you're having about all those 3 things is what I call love lifting. Makes you feel good, makes you feel great. And by the way, you can check yourself. Here's something I want you to do. Write this down. Meditate for 10 minutes and just shut up. Just shut the hell up, because most of us never do. Don't take out your phone. And by the way, I'm not talking about lotus position and ohms and things like that. I'm just talking about shut the hell up and listen to your talk. Listen to your talk about yourself. Listen to your talk about other people in the world around you. And you will quickly learn whether that is positive or negative. You will quickly learn whether the tonality and those words are love-lifting or denigrating. And if they're denigrating, change it. You can change it through repetition. And I'll tell you about that here in just a little bit, okay? So that's number 1, is psychology. You must do that. You must work on that. Your own self-talk about yourself, other people, the world around you. That's number 1. That's 60%. The second thing is energy. And I'm not just talking about get up in the morning, energy, go. I'm talking about the amount of actual electricity that is flowing through your body in any given moment. It's all about something called dopamine release. Dopamine, that's where dope comes from. It's the chemical that your brain releases that makes you feel euphoric, that makes you feel great. I can do it with my words, and I promise you, some of you are going through it right now. You got dopamine release right now going, this guy excites me. This guy makes me feel good. So you're releasing dopamine. Well, guess who else can release it? You. And you can do it with your conversation. You can do it through your movement. You can do it through learning, whatever. As long as you're doing something, you release dopamine. And this is what sets you apart, by the way, because you know what to do. You know what to do. All of the advice, I was just on that last call, and that was brilliant advice that I was hearing, okay? All the advice in the world is going to be no good if you don't get off your ass and do something about it. And the only way you get off your ass is to get dopamine released through movement and through words. That's it, okay? It's think, feel, do, okay? Lastly is this. Oh, where are my props? Okay, watch this. Watch this. Lastly, write this down, is magnetism. Okay, and don't worry, I'm not just talking about the laws of attraction. Yes, that stuff is great. Yes, it works. However, that's only one piece of a broader subject matter, if you will, about how you bring things into your life. Not a one of us is going to say that, you know, we don't know somebody that's lucky. Not a one of us is going to say that we haven't had something show up in our lives that we didn't have to effort for. It just showed up. We attracted into our lives. Type of one, if you agree with me that you have the ability to bring into your life situations, circumstances, and even material things through methods other than just your hard work. Everybody's got this. So watch this. Okay, attraction is one thing, but attraction means you're attracting something to you. Watch this. This is an ink pen, and if you see, there's a steel clip on there, and this is a magnet, okay? These are actually, it's two magnets, and they're very powerful magnets. Watch this, okay? All day long, it does that. But it's not a very strong bond. As a matter of fact, I can shake it loose, okay? Because this magnet is powerful, very, very powerful, and it's drawing things, and it's drawing this steel to it. But watch this. These are two magnets. Now, by the way, let me do this again. Listen to that sound, okay? You hear it. Now, listen to this sound. These are two magnets. Type of one, if you can hear the difference. And type of one, if you notice, all I got to do is let go of this one, and it draws it to it. I don't have to bring this magnet to this one. I just let go of it, and it goes to it. Okay? Here's my point, okay? You learning the skills of magnetism means that two magnets move towards each other quicker. Easier, quicker, faster, more efficiently than one magnet. You may be a magnet. You know, when I ask people, give me the laws of attraction, they go, okay, well, as I think, I can attract what I think about. Yeah, that's true. But what if the thing that you're thinking about doesn't want you? Now, hopefully I can make this. Watch this. Okay. If you don't have those two things that I said before, now, first off, look at this. Okay. Lisa, can you guys see this?
Yes, I just made you full view.
Okay, great. All right, so you're seeing this magnet come towards it, right? But watch this. If I turn this magnet over, watch what happens. See that? Lisa? Lisa, can you see that? Okay, am I back? Hello? I can't hear you, so I'm going to pretend you can still hear me.
They can hear you, Joseph. Keep going.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you could see that, the one magnet, because it's flipped over, is pushing the other magnet away. That is what's happening to you. If you know, that's how you sabotage yourself, because your psychology isn't right. Now, my whole point is this, and somebody keep me honest on time. I don't know what time it is or what time I'm off of this thing, okay? So what happens to us is we are magnets, but if you don't, it doesn't matter how much I push these magnets together, they're not going to go together because they're repelling each other. And they're repelling each other because they're out of polarity. It's flipped over. And most of us are going through lives. Most entrepreneurs are going through lives with a psychology of doubt and uncertainty. Is this going to work? What's happening right now? Am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Am I smart enough? And that lowers our energy. And because our energy is lower, and by the way, guess what a magnet is? It's just a piece of iron that has been imbued with electricity, okay? That's it. How you make a magnet is you take a piece of iron and you just bombard it with the right kind of electricity, and it becomes a magnet. So it's the same with you, and that's the same with everything on the planet, ladies and gentlemen, everything. So you can magnetize yourself, and you can magnetize the thing that you want by doing those first two things. Number one, get your psychology right. And psychology right is just certainty.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is to get your energy right, and it's in flow from your psychology. Move your freaking body. Now is the craziest time of, most people are sitting in their seats all day long, through this COVIDness. Get off your ass and move. I have a little trampoline in almost every room in my house. Because I set my phone, which I encourage you to do, and I'll say, Siri, remind me to get up and shake my ass in 1 hour.
And I'm going to have you shake your ass now, and we're going to wrap it up.
Got it. Okay. So, all right. So thank you. Listen, I told you I'm that guy. I get excited. How much time?
I love it. Everybody's like all excited. They're saying yes. Magnetize yourself. They're all excited. We're on.
How much time do I have?
We pretty much are over already. Okay,
we're over. All right. So I'm done. But here's what I'm going to say. To this point, and Lisa, you'll show them how to get it. I created something for you, and Lisa's going to give you a website to go to, free of charge. Okay, there's no strings attached to this. It's called the self-certain. There's two ways you can do this. If you go to my website, I'm going to charge your ass for it. I think it's $500. But here I'm going to give it to you for free. There's two ways you can do it. You can go to the link that Lisa's going to give you, or you can go to my Instagram page. I am Jospeh McClendon. Click on the profile, and it'll drop down, and you'll see something called Self-Certainty Masterclass. It's something for you to do. It's not just me yakking. It's an audio program with a workbook, and it's going to give you that certainty. It's going to help you cover at least the first two of those things that you've got. Lisa, thank you so much. Sorry I went over.
You're good. So just so you know, Joseph, we're putting it in the chat, so everybody will have the link, josephmcclendon.com/SCM, S as in success, C as in, I want to say something cool, and then M as in McClendon. What?
It's Self-Certainty Masterclass.
There you go, Self-Certainty Mastermind. So you have it there, and you'll be able to get access to it, and it also will be shared in the email as well for everybody that did register, so everybody will get it no matter what. We'll make sure of it. And Joseph, thank you for sharing your wisdom, strength, and hope. It has been amazing, and your energy is contagious, and that's why I just wanted to let you just keep going. I don't want to stop you. So I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that, and we'll have to do it again because you have so much to share and not enough time to do it here.
My pleasure, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing. And everybody, remember, life is exactly what you dare to make it, and fortune favors the bold. Get out there and be wealthy. I'm out!
Thank you, Joseph. You're amazing. And I'm sure you found that too as one of the reasons why he's inspired me for decades and has inspired millions of other people. So super, super excited to have him here as well.